Hey friends, Barkey Dog here, back with another movie review. This time we're looking at a movie from 1986 called Rad. Rad is about a guy who wants to be the #1 BMX bike rider, and to prove to himself and the world he has what it takes. This movie is a little like North Shore, another 80s picture I reviewed a while back, featuring a young guy trying to make it in a sport. Here, the guy is named Crew, short for cruiser, a naturally gifted bike rider. Here we see him and his friends biking on their bikes, as Crew essentially does parkour with a bike during his paper route. Crew has a choice to make. Either take his SATs like his mom wants him to, or compete in a bike race. Said bike race is a qualifying heat for Helltrack, a new business venture brought to the town by a corporate dude and a local businessman, played by Ray Walston. Helltrack is supposed to be the Super Bowl of BMX racing, according to the corporate guy, so all the top BMX bikers are in town to compete, and Crew wants his chance to shine. The competition includes these guys who work for the corporate guy. They're pretty much the stand-ins for rich fraternity jerks in a college movie. They're arrogant and look down on the locals in the town. The twins are top bikers, and the blonde guy is the #1 guy in the sport, and the guy Crew has to beat. Associated with their team is a cute chick who falls for Crew and helps train him as they fall in love. Meanwhile, the corporate dude keeps changing the rules to keep our hero out of the running. With the help of his friends, his mouthy little sister, and the townspeople rooting for one of their own, Crew struggles all the way to the top. But can he win Helltrack? Well, I'm not going to tell you. You have to watch the movie. This picture was directed by the legendary Hal Needham. Before he became a director, Needham started out as a stuntman on many famous movies and westerns. Eventually, he worked his way up to second unit director and assistant director, and directed several of Burt Reynolds' action movies. And one of my favorites, Megaforce. Here, Needham is in top form, and you can tell he was impressed with the stunts the bike riders could do. The opening and closing credit sequences showcase the bike riders doing their tricks, and Needham really shows them off. I like how Needham populates the town here. That's a lost art in pictures now. Now, a background character shows up, maybe has a line, then disappears. Basically, one and done. Not in this movie. Several minor characters pop up from time to time throughout the picture. That gives this place a sense of reality. The town's a real place, a real community, just like in your hometown. You see familiar faces from day to day. Crew is well played by Bill Allen. He wasn't a BMX biker, but he was good enough to fool most viewers. Ray Walston is in good form as the local businessman, a curmudgeon with a heart of gold. Lori Loughlin is the cute chick who wins Crew's heart. She's very good here. And Talia Shire, who played Adrian in the Rocky movies, is Crew's mom. She doesn't have much to do in the picture, but I like the way she's played. The sister here is okay. Usually a kid in this kind of role could easily become excruciatingly annoying. But this kid avoids that pitfall for the most part. She has a potty mouth, and it's actually funny when she spits out a curse word or two, unlike most other kids I've seen in these roles. Crew doesn't have a dad here, just his mom and his sister. In fact, there's a thread running through 80s movies aimed at teens. namely The Mystery of the Missing Dads. North Shore, Karate Kid, E.T., Manhattan Project, Legend of Billie Jean, another picture reviewed on my channel here. There's a whole slew of them in which the father is nowhere to be seen. Either through divorce or the dad dying, they simply aren't around. They're literally not in the picture. A lot of single moms in these movies. Many of the young teens are on the cusp of manhood or adulthood and are in search of a mentor or father figure, like Mr. Miyagi in Karate Kid or the Gregory Harrison character in North Shore. You see that in a lot of these movies for some reason. Here, Crew isn't looking for a father figure, he's just out to prove himself. Probably the most surreal and coolest moment in this picture isn't on the race course. It's during a public dance being held at the school to celebrate the opening of the Helltrack course. Crew and the cute chick wind up doing a dance, but not in the way you'd expect. They do it on bikes! It's like ballroom dancing on bikes. Needham knew when to use slow motion to full effect and when to pull back. Again, it's kind of a lost art. You see his skill on display during the segment. It's not too much slow-mo, not too little, not overdone. It's kind of surreal, kind of one of those weird WTF moments, but also romantic as all get out. Maybe it's dopey, but I liked it. Oh, fun fact, the outfits the twins are wearing during their dance here, those are reportedly leftover costumes from V. They certainly look it. As for Helltrack, the racecourse, it lived up to its name. There was a big ramp the bikers had to drop down, but the ramp was so tall and steep, none of the riders were willing to attempt it, so it was cut down to a more manageable height. In the end, none of the pro BMX bike riders could complete one lap of Helltrack because it was so tough. They had to shoot parts of the track in sequence to show a completed lap in the movie. And hey, hold on, check that out. Will you look at that? Look at that fine thing. Isn't that beautiful? No, not the girl. She's okay, I guess, but I'm talking about that rack of comics. Look at it. You've got Rom the Space Knight, and Iron Man, Hulk, X-Men, Alpha Flight. That one's a DC annual, not sure which one. Oh, and Sergeant Rock! Wow! See, that's how it was back in the day. Comics are dead now, but they used to be a thing. Exciting, lots of variety, interesting stories, right there in every little store you'd go to. That's how it was, but not anymore. Can't find comics in stores anymore. Comics from DC and Marvel today are all crap anyway. But back then, comics were real. Downsides to Rad? Well, I suppose the villain of the piece, this corporate guy, is a little cartoonish. In some ways, he's hard to take seriously as a threat to overcome, but on the other hand, that's probably what a guy like this would be like in real life. A big fish in a little pond, a guy who's a loser but sees himself as a big man. And this isn't the kind of movie where this guy would have a henchman gun somebody down to get rid of them. So, given the tone of the movie, he's okay. This movie has a great 80s soundtrack, great stunts and bike action, a likable cast, a good location, hot 80s girls in 80s outfits, sporting 80s hairdos, a cute chick as the love interest, and a nice rack of comics. I'm giving this one 2 3/4 paws. Almost gave it 3. I liked it that much. Well worth a watch. If you want a fun slice of 80s in your evening, be sure to check this one out. Rad is available on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digitally from Amazon Prime. Well, that's all I have for you this time. I'll be back soon with another video. In the meantime, you take care of yourselves, okay? And I'll see you in the next one.